Welcome to the new file configuration survey page. I'm going to read this quickly for you, just to add a little commentary. Please complete this document prior to starting the configuration process. This process cannot be completed in an efficient manner without the information requested by this document. Consultants should use this or something comparable to gather data from their clients, and end users doing self-setup should fill this out for optimal efficiency. There's a link to it to open it in Google, in a Google Doc format in your browser. I'll start reading it here and then pop it out. Instructions. This data will be used by you or by a consultant to configure your Zap accounting software bookkeeping template. You will need to fill out one of these for each instance of the software you intend to create, which it means for each company you intend on tracking and or for each personal account file you intend on creating. To get digital copies from a Google Docs interface, and to get to a Google Docs interface, you can either click this or you can click this here. Select File, Make a Copy, right there. For those wanting to download a PDF or DOCX, select File, Download As, or Download. You can pick an option there. Please do not click on the button requesting share access. If we shared this with you, you will be editing our source file. So there's that. No need to click that. Nobody will respond. And no need to go File, Share, as nobody will respond. Now, moving into the next sections. Configuration worksheet, file name, and user configuration fields. Desired file name, company name / individual name as you'd like it to appear on the top of reports. And this is address as you'd like it to appear on the top of the reports. And that's not just an address, it's a second line of information. So it could be an email address or a tagline, anything you'd like. That gets set up actually in the configuration worksheet at the end of the file. Chart of accounts. Select a default chart of accounts based on business structure. We offer sample charts of accounts for LLCs, LLPs, S Corps, partnerships, sole proprietorships, and for personal accounting. That translates to a chart of accounts in line with Schedule C, one with 1120S for an S Corp, and one for real estate investors, which is a Schedule E. And then we have a unique suggestion that you could pursue for personal accounting if you'd like. The chart of accounts, naming of equity owner drawn due to accounts. We need to know company owner name and initials you'd like to use. Chart of accounts and journals. For the checking account specifically, we want a bank name, last 4 digits of the account, and is the account dedicated to this business? This is more for a consultant's use and or your use to think about how you're going to use the software. This isn't actually required in the software itself. And the last 4 digits are just a part of a suggestion we use for naming. Chart of accounts and journals, credit cards. Exclude corporate accounts with multiple card holders. Same type of information, but for your credit cards. Chart of account and journals, corporate credit card account with one or multiple cards. Most corporate accounts have a master account number, and then they have numbers for each card holder. So that's why this section is different. And in theory, you'd have to fill out one of these. If you had multiple corporate accounts for a single file, turn the sheet over on the back and add more data. Raw transaction worksheets, CSV file, column headings, and sample data. This is critical. This is the big deal. This takes a little time to set up. And it says for each checking account and credit card account listed, we need a screenshot or a sample of the data file that you'll be downloading from your bank. What we need most is the total columns in the download, the column names for all columns in the download, some may be blank, and the data from a few transactions so we can determine how your bank assigns positive and negative signs to amounts. Note some banks use debits and credits in their downloads, and to complicate things just a little bit more, some banks use debits and credits and then use positive and negative values in those columns, which is pretty absurd. They will go to extreme lengths to keep users confused and to prevent them from wanting to use their own spreadsheets to do their bookkeeping and accounting. They really all the larger banks really have a strange methodology for pushing consumers into the digital realm, into the Intuit monopoly. So this is an example of what a download would look like. So we'd ignore the header information that's not used. There's date, description, amount, and running balance. So this download has 4 different columns. And what's of most interest to us is this. And then we need a couple transactions because we can see that if this is a checking account, when the checks go out, it's negative. So this is in line with the way we actually use signs. But this could be reversed, where the checks are treated as positive and deposits are treated as negative. and that's because they'd be looking at it from the bank's perspective. So this is what you need to set up your raw transactions worksheets. You need this exact kind of data. Now let's see what else. Please do not try to describe what you see. Either get us screenshots like above or send us files via email that we can open and look at. You can paste screenshots below or tell us emails are coming and send with the format below. So there's a suggested format. This is the level that we suggest people communicate with clients if you're doing it that way. Summary. With this information, setting up your files as easy as it can be. Without this all in one place, it takes much more time. So this wraps up the video for the new file configuration survey. It's pretty straightforward. Please feel free to use this for yourself. Please feel free to make a copy of this and use this for your clients. And feel free to make a copy and modify it to meet your own needs.